Okay, you're welcome again. Everyone, you are welcome. This is Rise by Polished and Fit, and you're welcome. It's such a joy to have you. Please let us know in the comment section where you're joining in from. As you join in, please let us know immediately where you are joining in from. A bit of tech issues, but I'm sure it's been resolved immediately. Um, my guest is here to. Please give me a moment while this. Can you see me now, my guest? Sorry, I'm trying to get my guest on for tonight.
Okay, I am up now. I can see you. And yes, I'm
Okay.
up now. I can see you.
All right, so you are welcome, sir, even though I cannot see you right now.
I can see you.
Please confirm in the comment section that you can see the both of us. I'm only seeing myself. I cannot see my guest yet. Please confirm in the comment section that you can see me and then you can also see my guest tonight. Anybody in the comment section? Who is helping out as our moderator tonight? Just put it in the comment section. I can see you and I can see your guest. That's all I just need to see. Can you see me? Can you see my guest tonight? Oh, I can see you both. Oh, people are saying I can see you both, even though I still cannot see my guest. So I guess we're fine. And then we can just go on. You're welcome. Please, can you say hello, sir, so that I'm sure you're here?
Hello, everyone. Good to be here tonight.
Again, like I said, I cannot see you yet, but I'm just very glad that you're here and you are very welcome. So you're
Thank you.
welcome to this very amazing time of sharing tonight. And it's just such a joy to have you, my very special guest tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining from around the world, it is me tonight and my amazing husband. It's just such a joy to have you as my first guest on Rise. You're welcome, so welcome, and so, so good to have you here. You're welcome to Rise. Would like to meet you. Please introduce yourself and let us know what's happening. I know it feels a bit somehow because it's both
Okay.
of us. Yeah, it feels a bit different, of course, that I'm the one interviewing you today, and I'm very, very delighted. I don't take this for granted at all that you're here with us to have this very special session. So yes, please say hello, and we'll just take it on from there.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Such a privilege and such a great honor for me to be here tonight, and I don't take this for granted. I want to first and foremost give God thanks, and secondly, I want to thank my wife, the flesh of my flesh and the bone of my bone, my sweetheart, um, the only one, and no other. Ademola Adetuberu. Of course, she's my wife, and I am privileged to be her husband. And apart from that, I am a management consultant on diplomatic and business protocol. I'm also a national defense consultant. For national defense, we manufacture national defense equipment, gears, ammunitions from Turkey, and we are setting up by God's grace back in Nigeria from next year. So that's what I do on corporate security. So that's what I do. Such an
Okay.
honor to be here tonight. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, babe. I'm so honored again to have you here. So I know, I mean, it feels different because people are going to be wondering, I mean, what is a security consultant doing at a marriage, learning hub? What's happening? What is he doing here? So let me give you a bit of a back end of this story. My husband is one of those people that I usually joke with him and say, are you sure you're not going to start a matchmaking company? Because every single time, like, if you're not in a relationship, you're not yet engaged, you're not yet married, and you're around my husband, and he sees you're a young man or you're a young woman, up and doing, he's going to ask you a few questions. He would ask you, what's happening? What are you waiting for? And all of that. And it's always just very interesting and very funny to me. Okay, so and I'm like, this is something he's really passionate about, even though yes, he's in a totally different field, but it's something he's very excited about. It's something he supports absolutely. And I just thought, hey, come share your thoughts with people, especially from a male's perspective. I mean, it's totally different from a female's perspective sometimes. So, and that is why we're here today, sharing that story especially. So a very good place to start will be from your own story, right? So let me know. I mean, how did you even find me? What happened? How did this whole thing come about? What were you thinking? I mean, talking about the person, because when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage, I believe that one of the key factors are the individuals. Then I feel like that's a very safe place for us to start from tonight, which is the individual, and that is going to be the person. So hey, why me of all? I mean, we have how many billion people on earth? So tell us, how come it is this babe that you finally what was catching your eye as to where that made you say, hey, come for this babe, right? So yes, let's hear that part of
Okay.
the story as we kick off.
Okay, thank you everyone once again, and thank you, sweetheart, for having me on your set on Rise. I don't take this for granted. Like you rightly said, why you? Such a difficult question, but it's something that it's something I've gone through, so I can tell you because I've journeyed through that terrain. So of course, I've always seen over 1,001 ladies week in, week out, and wife Fentoski. Well, at first, I would say that, of course, I prayed, but before prayer, because I don't want us to Christianize this, before prayer, you can only pray to God on someone you love, you like, you admire from afar, even though you've not had any engagement with them. So I would say, out of all the ladies I've seen, I've been praying to God for you for over 11 years before I met you. So meeting you definitely, just like Abraham said, wow, man, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. I remember the first time I stumbled into you. You were coming out. I was coming into church, and we just met. Well, I wouldn't know. I just felt that there's something about this lady. There's something about this lady, and that was just it. That was it. I have been praying. I've made a spiritual investment. So definitely, the investment I've made for over a decade, 11 years. Now meeting the person, there will be a spark. There will surely be a spark. And honestly, when I met you that day, I had nothing. I had no clue that we're going to be married. I just said, wow, okay, beautiful girl, great, that's good, And I worked, to get on my assignment. And your personality, your courage, your charisma, the way you love God. These are attractions. These are the things that causes a lot of attractions for me. Seeing over 1,001 ladies every day, every time. So you'll just be wondering. And I noticed, back then Facebook was the in thing. I noticed that whenever I just come on Facebook, I'm not a social media person actually. But once in a while, when I just come up, I do see your status, what you post and all of that. And that got me interested. You know, you are not posting all those stuff. You know, first and foremost, I'm a purposed man. So I'm a purposed man. I'm not a guy. I'm a young leader. And I have always known, you know, I've always seen myself as a multinational CEO and chairman of a group of companies, and I've carried myself that way and building up myself that way. So definitely, if I'm going to get married to someone, then I need to check the person out. Someone said marriage is not just about love; it's about first and foremost knowing who you are, then knowing who to take along, knowing who to take along. So, and I've been on the search really of Lord, who will I take along? Who is this person? And I've been praying to God, you know, to meet him with you. And honestly, I remember that I saw about a couple of ladies, not only you, and I began to investigate all of you. I began to investigate all of you, investigation, spiritual, physical, on your social media. I I asked people around, you know, who is this babe? What do you know about her? Who is this guy around her? You know, I asked all those questions. As a matter of fact, before I finally said good morning or good afternoon to you, you've been on my radar for 6 months. You've been on my radar for 6 months. Yes, you've been on my
Wait,
radar.
six
Yeah, for
months.
six
Hey,
months. Before
are
I
you
ever
hearing?
said hello to you. Yeah, before I ever said hello to you. I could say that there was nothing about you, you know, that I should know that I think I did not know. Even though I never said hello to you, I never greeted you, and our path never crossed, you know, sure, until I was sure, you know, that, okay, this is the person I want to do the rest of my life with, you know. But for solid 6 months, you know, I investigated about you. I investigated about you. Of course, I saw some things. I saw some things that were very good virtues, very good values, you know, that you've emulated. And for me, because of where I am going, I believe you can feature in my future because of where I'm going. I saw features that I love to see, I love to have, you know, in my future. I would love my children to have. I would love for us to build a home together, which are your personality, your personality, the person, then your poise, your courage, the charisma, your love for God, your love for God. These are all the things. Finally, I streamlined to two ladies. And I was like,
Hey,
Lord, which of these two? Which of these two? Finally, I streamlined to two ladies, and I was like, God, which of these two would you want me to go with? And honestly, I would like to you, God, like I've always told you, sweetheart, God told me that if you marry Fentosky, this is what it will be like. If you marry this other lady, this is what it will be like. And honestly speaking, the end result, I felt the Holy Ghost told me were not bad for both of you. But there was a but with the second lady in the sense of her love for God. I felt she's someone that could compromise. Yeah, I felt she's someone that could compromise. I felt she's someone that is not solid, you know, in a stand with Christ, you know, with God. And I felt, okay, because of that, and for where I am going, and I need to choose the right person to go along with me, you know, to achieve what God will want me to achieve. So I felt, no, it has to be you. It has to be you. It has to be you. You know, of course, your qualities, your love for God, and of course, we don't know everything. Even in investigation, there's no way investigation will reveal 100% everything about that person to you. You know, I asked around, I made inquiries about you, I followed. There were days I drove behind the vehicle you rode in.
Hey,
You know, yeah, there
Jesus.
were days I just drove behind the vehicle. You know, of course, I'm a security person, so what do you expect? I drove behind the vehicles. I just wanted to know you before saying hello to you. I wanted to be sure, you know, and that's the difference between a Christian relationship and a secular relationship. Now, if it were to be a secular relationship, they will enter into what they call dating. But you know, in the Christendom, I don't believe in dating because I've never seen anywhere in the Bible where dating is mentioned. I've never seen any scripture that supports dating. So so you just have to first and foremost do investigative prayer, spiritual, physical. But know that it's not about spiritual alone, because if you don't like the person of the person, the structure the lady is carrying, if you don't like the structure, then you're going to have issues. If you are putting everything to the spirit, you're not marrying the spirit, you're marrying a physical person. So I love the person Fentoski is. I love the package. I love your structure. It's something, you know, that that would turn me on, and has always turned me on over the last decade that we have been together. You know, so definitely that was just it for me. Your love for God, your courage. You are not one of those ladies that you know, you see with many men. You're not one of those loose ladies that lacks boundaries. A lot of ladies today lack boundaries. Boundaries. There are no boundaries with the person that they are not going out with. They are not engaged with the person. But you know, you see some, you know, pictures. You see them together. You're not dating. You're not going out with this person. You're not engaged with this person. You're not. So, what you are? Why are you showing this person to the world?
Right.
Because not every one of us has the boldness. Like Toski, there was a guy that was around you that time.
Hey,
There was a guy that was around you that time,
Abego.
and you know, during my investigation, you know, I really, really checked out who is this guy? Why is this guy following my babe? Even though I've not spoken with you, you know, why is this guy following this babe all around? You know, and all of that. You know, why? You know, I ask questions, you know, from people I trust and that knows you, you know, and they would say, okay, what exactly do you want? And I'll tell them, actually, well, if I have a good answer, I want to marry her. You know, I want to marry her. I want to marry her. You know, so that's just about it. Your charisma, your
Amazing.
courage, your boundaries, your love for God. Love for God. Even the guys in the secular, when they want to settle down, they come to church to look for a lady, not a loose one that everyone has slept with. Like I said, the second lady that was in my radar, when I streamlined everything to two of you, you know, I could tell that this lady can compromise, and I don't want compromise, right? So, and that was why I was like, no, I would stick with Toski, you know, and that was after I was sure. I prayed about it, and I had peace in my spirit, you know, that you are the one. Then the next thing I did, of course, was to walk up to my leader in the church and make myself accountable by letting them know that, oh, I found a lady I want to spend the rest of my life with. And they were like, oh, who's the girl? I said, Toski. I said, hey,
Hey,
Toski, why Toski? I said, you know, everyone calls you, is it Mommy Eti, or what do they call you that time?
hey, don't let me stop you, but I would have to cut you a bit. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about that.
that's fine. That's fine.
I want to say thank you. I mean, I've seen a lot of comments that are making me to laugh. That's why I'm laughing like this.
Yeah,
Okay, so if I hear you correctly, what you said is that you started out with from a place of investigation first.
yeah.
You didn't just come to overwhelm or just make yourself all over the place. That you
No.
spend some good time. I know we've talked about this before. Where you were telling me, you had taken time to pray. I mean, for like 11 years. Then, I know when we're talking about some things, and you just say, no, you that have been praying for like
Of
for over
course.
10 years, and even
That you
about
cannot
your
turn left. You can't turn left because I have used prayer to lock you.
you know. Of
Yeah.
course, same here for me too. I had taken time to pray, and all
Yeah.
of that before we even got to this stage. So yes, it's important that people take out time. Please, as we are sharing, yes, we're sharing a story, but then beyond the story, make sure you're picking principles that you can begin to utilize. If you're a man here and you're identifying someone, you don't just go. See, sometimes people say things like, oh, I met this lady and then she said no to me, and
No.
all of that. Sometimes maybe you were not strategic enough. If
Very
I'm
true.
listening here, I'm hearing strategy, meaning he had to be even sure. I've seen someone before say, oh, I'm interested in this particular lady. Meanwhile, the lady was engaged and he did not have an idea. He didn't make any form of inquiry and he just went straight on to meet her. So investigation, inquiry, finding out,
Yes.
about that person you're intending for is important.
Yes.
It's not something you want to trade. It's not something you want to push to the backside. Of course,
Yes.
from reliable people. And hey, I'm sure that that is also like a note of caution to people because people are watching you that you don't. And guess what? When all of those investigation was going on,
You
none of
didn't
those
know.
people said anything to me. Nobody even ever came to meet me to
Mm-hmm.
say anything to me. So it's
Yeah.
important that you actually find out. You don't
Yeah.
just step into it anyhow. Take time to really find out before you even make investments. Like I call it, investigate before you invest. It's such
True.
an important factor before you start off on this journey of getting into a relationship. So thank you so much for highlighting that. There was courage. You looked out for poise. You watched out for love for God. There were certain things that were key to you, that you went on for. Now, that will bring me to my next question, which is for a man of purpose, because I remember that there's this funny thing my husband used to do then when we were talking, and I'm like, oh, so this guy, this and that. The first time I said it, my husband was like, oh, sorry, I'm not a guy. I didn't understand. I'm like, sorry, you're not a guy. So what are you or who are you? I beg, let's understand. And then he said, no, I'm a young leader. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, that one is new. So I saw that there was this thing with you about knowing your identity. You were so
Very
invested in
true.
your identity. You were so sure about yourself. You were so sure about purpose for yourself. And that was one thing that you could not trade. In fact, I remember before we even went very far, with even, that structured part of being in our relationship, one of the things you did was that you gave me your journal, where you had highlighted things God had told you
Yeah.
about your future, your purpose, where you're headed as a person, several things like that. And you gave that journal to me and you told me, hey, this is, like a summary of the things I am as clear about as at this time, because nobody knows
Yeah.
everything about their purpose in a moment, right? So as much as was already clear and revealed, you documented them. That black diary I can never forget. And I took
Yeah.
that diary, I went to look through. I'm like, this guy, your dreams are big. Oh.
Yeah.
When do you want to achieve all of these things and all
Yeah.
that? And even at that time, you were already taking intentional
Yeah.
steps. And
Yes.
I saw that you just did not present yourself like, oh, just anybody. So what really comes to the mind of like a purposeful man, when he is looking out, for a life partner? Because we have different categories of people here today. There are people saying, I've been in this pool, I'm not even interested anymore. There are other people saying, hey, I really want to know. Maybe there's someone out there really looking out for me. There are people that are discouraged, thinking, I've tried this, whole thing about relationship, it just didn't work out. Maybe this is the light you were waiting for all through, and that light is going to be coming to you today. I hope you're going to maximize it and get that light. So please, sweetheart, tell me, what is that thing you believe that men of purpose are actually looking out for when they begin to, get to that phase that they are looking out for, that life partner, that person that they want to spend the rest of their life with? Over to you, sweetheart.
Okay. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So I may not say it in any particular sequence. I will just
Yep.
say it as it comes to me. The first thing a man of purpose, is looking out for in the lady he wants to get married to is the lady is not to be shared with anyone.
Hmm.
Yes. No man wants no man wants his wife to be shared with someone else. So
Me, I'm taking
if you
notes.
are
So
Yes, if you are a loose person, you see this guy, you hug him. You see that guy, you hug him. You can hug 100 guys in a day. Someone like me would never come to you. I will never, as a man of purpose, because number one, I just told you that, like you rightly said, sweetheart, I gave you my vision book. It's my vision book, and I gave it to you the day I proposed to you, and I said, I remember my wife was somehow not cool with my proposal because it wasn't this, all
Hey,
these
Peter, please,
rosy.
we're going to talk about that part. Very important part, too.
It wasn't this kind of rosy proposal because I needed to cast a vision. Where are we going? I'm not asking for dating. That's not what I'm here for. I needed to let you know that, hey, babe, this is the end result, end goal of my coming to you. I want to marry you. And I said to you that day, you remember, sweetheart, you may call me a cake, old guy, but well, I'm following the scripture. The day, what's it called? I can quote many scriptures for you. There was no dating between Isaac and Rebekah. There was no, they find the only one which it is not dating, it was engagement. That was Joseph and Mary. They were not dating. They were properly engaged. That's engagement. So, so the first thing, a man of purpose is looking for someone. These are the days of scandal. You don't want to see your wife, hear a story of, oh, she's loose. So you want a principled person. And that person can only be a principled person if, first and foremost, the foundation is gotten right. And what is the foundation? Knowing God. Knowing God. Knowing God. Because there's no way, if you don't know God, definitely you can't walk by his principles. You're going to walk by the principles of the secular. So, the first thing a man of purpose is looking out for, right, is, does this person have a personal relationship with God? Even no matter, of course, I work with secular, I work with, corporate organizations, multinationals, government. I have heard, when these people want to settle, they can go to club, they can go to all of these, they come to church. They are looking for, in quotes, someone that has the love of Jesus. Do you understand? So the first thing you can't trade it away is, does this person have a personal relationship with God? Number two, is this person a principled person? Principle. Are you a principled lady? Are you a principled man? In the sense that you maintain boundaries. Boundaries. Here's my wife. No lady can hug me. You can't. How can you just come near me and hug me? For what? You cannot dare it. By my courage alone, I'm not frowning. But just my courage, you cannot come near me and hug me, because that is how I've carried myself. I respect my personality, right? And people even believe I'm very old. The way I carry myself, I'm an honorable person. So are you an honorable person? Or are you an honorable lady? Are you an honorable gentleman or young leader? So, but if you are a loose person, you see this, oremi, hey, what's up? All those things, for a man or a lady of purpose, honestly, they're going to turn you down. Yes, because you've got tendencies that can affect their future.
Wow.
We don't marry for today, we marry for future.
Hey.
Yes, you don't marry for today, you marry for future. The choice we are all taking today is not just for today, it's a choice that we are taking and making for generations to come. So principled, so knowing God, then principled, and that's one of the things that is lacking in today's world. Today's ladies are so loose. They are so loose. You travel, you even while you are in the same church, they know you're already engaged this person, they are trusting you should come and join them. I had a lady that was sowing seed on me for years. She kept sowing seed. She was sowing seed. It got to a point the pastor had to call me and say, Brother Ademola, what is God telling you about marriage? Because the pastor too has been believing that this seed this lady has been sowing, and every time the pastor asks the lady, what are you believing God for? She would say God told her that Brother Ademola is her husband. Now,
Wow.
God told you, Brother Ademola, me is your husband, but in this choir that we were in the same choir together, and I was a choir coordinator. This lady was my arch enemy in the choir. She's the one that fights me. She's the one that, we say we are going right, she says left. Now, this same lady is the same lady that goes behind, praying to God, asking God that I am her husband, or if God told her, I don't know. That the pastor had to call me and say, Brother Ademola, what about marriage? When are you getting married? And I told pastor, marriage was not in view that period, that time. And pastor would say, okay, when do you think marriage will be in view? And I said, pastor, when I have a release for marriage, I'll be married. Then the pastor finally, confided in me and told me that, hey, this lady is believing God for you. And I was like, sorry, which lady, sir? And I told pastor that day, I told the pastor, I said, pastor, if God appears before me and says, marry that lady, I will beg God and say, no, I will not marry that lady. Because in the choir rehearsal, she was the only person I pray about when we're having rehearsal, about to have rehearsal for us to have peace. Now, so a lot of ladies have to watch their character. I used to, there's a mentee of mine that I was, saying that, why are you not married yet? And he was like, oh, you will be married, you will marry. So I began to show him ladies in the church. I would say, hey, see that lady, she's a good girl now, go and marry. And this guy will tell me, sir, she's not as good as you thought. And I'll be like, what do you mean she's not? Because of course, I'm not looking at any other lady because I'm already married. I have my babe already, I have my wife already. And this guy would say, she fights in public. And I'll be like, sorry, she does what? The guy would say, the guy would say he had seen her fought in public on 3 occasions. And this guy gave us case study 1, case study 2, case study 3. Now, that girl till today is not married. That girl, she's not yet married. Now, that kind of person is throwing prayers at God or whatever, going for hangout or whatever, and she's not being hung because of what? Her character. Character. So a lot of ladies, you have to watch your character. You have to watch when you lose it in public. You have to watch, some other ones, a lot of our ladies today, you are not kind. You are not kind to people. You are brash. You couldn't even say good morning. You can't tell if that person you did not greet may be the friend or the brother of the person that will come for you tomorrow. That has happened to me. I've had people that have had to talk to you and they will say, sir, with all due respect, I can't marry that person. Why? Because of this, because of that. So let's watch our character. Like I said to you, Toski, you did not know I watched you for 6 months. You never knew. You did not know that before I came to you, right? Before I came to you, I had investigated, I had watched you closely for 6 good months. The guy that dropped you and your friends then, I checked the guy out. I said, who is this guy? Why is this guy carrying this my babe with these other ladies? I had done all of those. I saw a picture. Someone showed me a story. What's it called? Is it a story? A status about 2 weeks ago. The guy is married. The girl is not married. Now, the guy that is married puts his hand right almost at the butt of the single lady. That's lack of boundary. Now, and the single lady is there, feeling cool. Someone that is already married, now, imagine the person that showed me that status. Imagine how many people would have seen that status. Now, if someone was like me investigating that particular lady for marriage and he kept seeing that, then that tells us Like I said, the second lady I felt would, she can compromise. So, ladies, you know, and another thing I should talk about is packaging. A lot of our ladies don't know how to package themselves. You don't have
Please,
to
sir,
now
please wait, sir. Please
yes,
wait,
for
sir.
ma'am,
Can you hear me, please?
yes,
Please, this one, you need to slow down because you need to really take us on this packaging thing very carefully. Honestly, you've been sharing so powerfully. If
thank
you're
you,
just joining us, you are on to Rise. This is our
thank you,
family live conversation every month. It's the last Wednesday of the month. We get to have these conversations. And if I hear you correctly, you've been highlighting, things that men of purpose are looking out for, and they have been so insightful. You've talked about character, you've talked
yeah,
about kindness, you've talked
yeah,
about personality, you've talked about love for God foundation. You're talking
yeah,
about who that person is. You've talked about healthy boundaries. You've talked
yeah.
about how people coordinate themselves both in
Coordinate
public
yourself,
and
yes,
in the secret place. I feel like that is so powerful, and I'm very glad that we are having this conversation today. And right now, you're talking
thank you.
about packaging. Now, my husband is a very
Packaging.
spiritual person, so for you to be talking packaging, I want to pay attention to this particular one. Because, hey, what has been on
Yes.
your mind for you to bring this part of? Okay, so let's hear
Well,
that.
apart from what I do, I just have some concern for people that are serving in the church. You can see these people serving, giving their all, and they are not getting married. And God is not like that. So began to I began to investigate what could be the cause. What could be the cause? So you can love God, you can do that, you can do this, but there are certain things God will not do for you. Packaging. You've got to package yourself. You've got to package your gifts, package, your structure. I was telling, I was telling my wife, I said, oh, some ladies are single, not old. Actually, they're not old, but they are packaged because they don't know how to package themselves. They are already looking old. No man, no man, no man wants to marry a mommy. Do you
Hey,
understand?
you
You
said
don't
no
want to
man wants
marry.
to marry a mommy. Please, somebody
No,
to
no,
put
no,
it in
no.
the
No young man
no,
wants to marry a mommy.
marry a
No,
mommy.
he already has a mother. He has a mother. So whether alive or late, he had a mother that gave birth to him. So a man wants someone they can flaunt. You want someone you can flaunt. You want someone you can showcase. You can showcase, to the public and say, oh, this is my babe. No man wants to marry a mommy. So if you're a single lady, you've got to package yourself. Forgive me, make your, sorry, sweetheart, I have to say some things, call it faith as it is. Say, I'll give you a case study. I'm a management consultant, so I do a lot of trainings, a lot. And I can't do, when you are doing training, you have to talk about case study, we have to do role play, we have different methodologies
Yes,
that,
sir.
we use. So please permit me to use this particular case study. There, I showed you a lady. She's single. But I told you, I said, look at this lady, the way she's packaged herself. Now, not because of lack of money. You don't have to have a billionaire to package yourself. You don't need so much money to package yourself. What you just need is a mindset, exposure. Mama, we thank you for joining. Mommy, Mama, NHN, thank you for joining, ma'am. We love you so much, man. We love you. We celebrate you greatly. Thank you, Mama. Sorry, Toski. Packaging. I showed you a lady. I said, look at this lady. She's single. She wants to be married.
Yeah.
But honestly, it looked as if, sorry, permit me to use the word her breast. Her breast was sagging. This is a single lady. A breast that ought to be pointing to, young leaders to see, to say, because, see, you will, as men, thank you, ma'am. As men, no matter how spiritual we are, why do we do sex with our wife? Why are we not praying with our wife? Right.
You are praying with your wife. Oh.
No. We pray with our wife. At the same time, we have holy sex with our wife with different styles. Different styles, and all of that. So what are we talking about? Can we say it as it is?
Yes.
What are we talking
Sir.
about? So please, your packaging as a lady is important. Now, packaging is not opening of cleavage. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about packaging where you open your cleavage. As a matter of fact, I don't. In fact, you are off my list when I see you, when we can see your cleavage. You're not a wife material. You are a one-night material, not a wife material. You are a one night stand. Just use and go. You are the type of person a man will just use to calm his temper, calm his stress, and ejaculate into. You are not a wife material. You are not the one the Bible is talking about in Proverbs 18, verse 22. You are not the one it's talking about. When you open cleavage, you think is the slit, the very long slit that is showing your bum bum. Like someone said that bums like that are smelling, which is true. They are smelling. I just came back from a trip yesterday. I was telling you, sweetheart, where I was. I swear some ladies where I was like, who are these ones? I'm a purposeful man. I don't look that way. Do you understand? So I want to be married. I'm not looking for someone. Packaging is not opening of cleavage. Packaging is not forcing yourself on a man. Packaging simply means courage. Packaging means courage. Your makeup should be on point. Whether it is in the morning, whether it's in the afternoon, whether it's in the night, your makeup should be on point. Yes. Well, so your packaging also means your dress sense. Your dress sense. Look for what fits you. Not all clothes
Please
fit you. Not all
put it
clothes
in.
must you
Look
put
for
on.
what fits you.
What do you say, ma'am? What
Please
do you say?
go ahead.
Yeah, not all clothes. You should look out for, what when you wear it. We went to do a job outside Abuja, and why would the principal yesterday morning called and said, "Oh, Mr. Ademola, you stood out. Every day I was looking for you." Yes, mama. Every day. The man said, I was looking up for you. I had not less than 50 people that walked up to me in that event and would say, you're looking good.
Because you are fine, man.
Thank
Like
you. Thank
you're
you,
an
sweetheart.
eye candy. Like you
Thank
always
you.
look
Thank you.
good,
Thank
sweetheart.
you.
You know,
Thank you.
like
Thank you. So packaging.
you always
Packaging
look.
means, we stepped out for evangelism one day. Guess what? We stepped out for evangelism one day, and we saw a lady. I know the lady. Maybe she didn't know we were going to come for evangelism in that area. But she stepped out. She's not yet married. She's trusting God for marriage. She stepped out. And guess what? She was not looking. She's a beautiful lady naturally. But you would not like to have her as a wife. So all the single brothers that were together, honestly, nobody will want to marry such a person. You can't tell who you will meet. Even when you want to buy something down the street, look good, dress well. Right. Dress well. Packaging is part of, oh, yeah, they're supposed to give you, maybe you bought something and the person is supposed to give you a change of 500 naira, for example, and you needed that 500 naira, you need it actually. But packaging is also not saying, where's my 500 naira? Your approach. You can say it because you don't know who is watching you. Look at the lady that I was telling a brother to get married to, and the guy said on 3 occasions he had seen that lady with outburst of anger.
Yeah.
Now the lady does not know. She's still single. She's still praying. And who will tell her? I can't go and tell her. It's not my responsibility to tell her. Do you understand? So packaging is so important. Let ladies and gentlemen, men, you could see what I've said. When I saw my beautiful wife, I did not go to meet her. I investigated her for 6 solid months. And after investigating her for 6 solid months, I asked people about her. I didn't just rush to meet her. So don't be in a hurry. I've always said to men, This is the person you're going to stay with, spend the rest of your life with. Why the rush? Take your time. Right. So packaging is so important, for ladies. They need to please look into packaging. We don't want to see cleavages. We don't want to see, all those come and get me. You are just going to be for one night stand. Yeah, the brother may sleep with you and he will say, Father, forgive me for I've sinned, right? But he will not marry you. He will marry you. You must learn to zip up. Packaging is also part of zipping up. When you don't open your legs. Before anybody would, I didn't know my wife until the night of our wedding, after the joining. Isn't it, sweetheart? We never knew each other. We never knew each other until the night we had been. In fact, guess what? Can I tell you the story? Can I tell you the truth? After the pastor joined us, let me tell them, sweetheart. After they joined us together like this, and we're taking all those family photographs and all of that, I was whispering to her. I said, sweetheart, let's go to our hotel. I had waited for this thing for how many years, babe? Let's go to our hotel. We gotta go to our hotel now. We're on convoy. We're on convoy to our reception, and I told the driver, I said, driver, get out of this convoy. Go back to our hotel. My wife was like, hey, no, sweetheart, let's go. People are waiting for us at the reception. I said, sweetheart, today is our day. Anytime we get there, they will wait for us. Yes, because of what? I had waited for this thing for years. I have earned it. So when you find a brother today, tomorrow is on top of you, you lack package. You're not the right material. Yeah, because that is exactly what you are going to do in the marriage. You would go and sleep with your boss. You would
Mama, you cannot okay.
Sorry. You will go and sleep with people you ought not to sleep with. Because of what? You lack boundaries. You don't zip this thing up. I think I'll stop there, man.
Wow. Hey. Are you sure? As in there, this place is hot. I beg, let me farm myself first because the place is hot like this. Sweetheart, this thing is just a small family talk like this. You just brought out sir. Be taking it, sir. We did not say you should come and do protocol and security on top of our head.
This is actually the protocol of engagement, the protocol to being engaged, because I'm a protocol consultant, right? So everything I do has to do with protocol. So there's a protocol of engagement, and we have to say it as it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm so grateful, for sharing these things. Now, these are things that sometimes people take them for granted. Sometimes people don't know that these things matter. Yeah. Some people are wondering, you're there, you're praying. One of the things that you say often, sweetheart, is that when it comes to, you feel like this person has been committed, this person is serving, and all of that. Now, there are different seasons in people's lives. There are moments where God expects that people are going to take their time, to just keep on working on themselves. I mean, look at Esther. Before she got introduced to the king, there was a 1-year preparation process that she had to go through before God presented her, to the king, and all of those processes took place. But then there was something that actually happened, in the midst of all of that. You always say that when you have seen people over and over again through the years, maybe they've been serving, consistent, doing everything externally that looks like it should be in place. You're always saying, God is just too faithful. There is always something else. Yes. And we have seen things like that play out a couple of times. There are times that it's happening that, either that person has been compromising in one way or the other. We've seen that happen, where for a very long period of time, someone, was always just compromising, and then eventually it comes out. Then my husband will say, see, I've told you this thing, check it over and over again. There is always something there that this person is not paying attention to, that they need to pay attention to. Some other times it is these little issues. I mean, you always point it out. There's one thing my husband says. He will tell you, "Oh, I'm not in the position to talk to." I mean, I don't talk to ladies about their personal stuff. That is why you're there. You're their coach. You're there to pass that message across to them. You're there to let them know these things, even if I'm not able to do that. I mean, my husband can be so detailed on little things. He can tell you that, can you just, I know that you're close to this lady. Can you talk to her? Maybe her shoe collections, what she's wearing makes her look old. You know, my husband pointed out things like that. Some other times he may say, "Oh, I feel like she always wears things that don't really suit her. Can she work on this thing?" That might just be the missing link out there. So you might be taking very basic things for granted. And that is why, you know, we have courses like the Polish and Fit course that we have, you know, where we are helping people to navigate this journey and actually work on these areas because, hey, God is faithful. God is doing his part. What are the areas, you know, we need to also fine tune? I don't know if you can hear me or I'm not sure.
Very, I can hear you.
All right, good.
I can hear you.
So, you know, these are very important things. So, as we begin to, you know, tie this conversation, I mean, it always looks like this conversation should not end. We are definitely going to have another time of just sharing even more about our own journey and how God has helped us through that journey. This is going to be almost 11 years, right, of being married to you. I know, right? 3 boys after. I mean, I do. You know, but then we're here and God has been faithful and kind to us. But then you pointed out these things so clearly. I remember then, we are also going to talk about that. That's going to be my next question about the power of association. You are big on that. One of the things that you always talk about is the people that are around you matter a whole lot. The people that you're interacting with, the people you're talking to. So my next question is going to be, what is the path to engagement like for us? You are the protocol, the chief protocol officer, sir. Please help us on this aspect. What is the protocol of engagement? We want to learn from.
As we wrap up, the protocol to engagement, to getting engagement in the godly way, by according to the Bible that I've read, and based on those I've been privileged to serve on them, is after, like I said, I did investigation, right? I prayed to God. Now, I prayed to God Almighty, you know, to guide me through, and I found you. I also found others, right? And I began to carry out investigation. Actually, I did investigation, like I said, to 2 of you, and I felt, oh, this second lady may compromise. Oh, Toski, she has a fear of God, right? So the first thing you want to do is that you don't want the devil to be your father-in-law or your mother-in-law. So definitely you want to marry someone that is a child of God. There's no way light and darkness can live together. Okay? So the first thing as a Christian, you know, I was talking with someone not too long, some weeks ago, and she was saying, oh, you know, she'll just get married to anyone, you know, that comes around. I said, no, don't do that. Wait. You have waited this long, just wait. So the first thing is you get yourself right with God. Number 2, check what you have done. Do an audit of what you have done the last 5 years, 10 years that has not yielded results, and see what you can change. See what you can fine-tune, either in service, either in your character, either in your relationship ethics, you know, your boundaries. How strong are you on boundaries, right? Every man, you know, men talks. So when a man has left with you, there's a likelihood he's going to tell 10 others. And one of those 10 may be a prospect, may be the prospective husband you have been trusting God for. And because he has heard that, he doesn't know, you know, how many other people you have slept with and all of that. So you want to just check all of these things. Like I said also about packaging, then after you have done all, like the Bible says, stand, right? And wait. Now, for a man, after you've found, you know, someone you want to get married to, you don't just walk up to the person. Part of the investigation is to ask people around, people that know that lady, that know that brother, Right, yes. Ask questions. One of the things, after asking people, I did not even come to my wife. Then I went to meet our pastor. I went to meet our pastor, to let him know my intentions. That, okay, I want to marry this lady. I had not proposed to you. True or true? True or true? Are you hearing me?
I didn't hear the last thing you
Okay, I said
said,
I
babe.
had not proposed to you. I first of all went to seek the
Yes.
pastor's consent. Yes, I went to seek our pastor's consent, because our pastor knows us. There are many things you don't know about the person that the pastor knows, and he will tell you. So I went to seek our pastor's consent. Our pastor said, "Oh, the moment I told him, he said, go ahead." I was even scared for myself. And when he said, go ahead, I was like, "Pastor, you didn't even say I should pray. You didn't say I should give you time. You just said I should go ahead." He said, "Ademola, go ahead. She's my daughter." And I was like, "So is that how you are giving out your daughter, Pastor?" Do you understand? But it shows trust. It shows that he could trust me with you. That was why he would just say, "Go ahead." And many times after the service, Pastor will call me and say, "Have you proposed to her?" I say, "No." He will just say, "What is wrong with you? Go and propose, go and propose, go and propose." Because he could trust me. Can they trust you like that? Can they trust you like that? Do you have somebody you are banging, you are sleeping with, you are hiding to do all of these things with? All of these things stop grace, whether you're a man or you're a woman. But you can sow seed from here till tomorrow, it will not come. Do you understand? So put boundaries in place. So after you are found as a man, the next thing, be accountable with your pastor. Let your pastor, your leader, let them know before you go and tell the lady. So if the lady is good, they will tell you. If they say, yes, go ahead, they are not running our lives for us. We're just being careful. We're just being careful. Honestly, we're just being careful. That's just it. So the next thing after you've told your pastor and your pastor gives you the green light to go ahead, the next thing is to build friendship. Build friendship, not dating. Dating is not scriptural. Dating is not, in fact, as a matter of fact, I checked out the dictionary of dating. Where is it? And what dating, the dictionary meaning of dating, it says dating includes two people in an intimate relationship. The relationship may be sexual, but it does not have to be. It may be serious or casual, straight or gay. We're not doing dating. We're not doing dating. Go into friendship. What's the meaning of friendship? Friendship means healthy relationship involve honesty, trust, respect, open communication between partners, and they make effort and compromise from both people. Right? That's friendship. That's what's called relationship. Sorry, I'm looking for friendship. What is friend? Friendship means, so friendship is all we're talking about, not dating. We're not talking of dating. Christians don't date. We Christians, there's nowhere in the Bible
It's
that
nothing like
if,
testing,
no,
yeah.
there's no Christian dating. That is secular. It is one of the things the devil brought in. So after build friendship, and how did I build friendship with my wife? After I had gotten the nod, what did I do? Then I know I start watching her. If she's going to come out from exit B, I will go to that exit B because I want to greet her. You can't just walk up to somebody and say, you understand. No, you have to be strategic. You have to use strategy. It is strategy to enter a land. The walls
Brothers,
of
are you hearing me?
the
Hey,
walls
see,
of Jericho will not just fail. The gate is straightly shut. Yes, but it is strategy that will open it. So what would I do? I would watch when my wife is coming out. I will quickly go there and I'll say, "Oh, celebrate you, ma'am." And that's all. That is it. That is enough. That is enough. Celebrate you, ma'am. I just want to hear her say, "Celebrate you, sir." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel good." Sweetheart, remember the day I stumbled at you in church? We just finished service. We're tearing down. I was taking the speakers back to the container, and I ran into you. Then the next thing I did was to rattle in tongues, and my wife was like, "Oh, is everything fine, sir?" I said, "Yeah, everything is fine." That was strategy.
I did not know you
Because,
were catching trees.
because yeah, other time we have just been saying celebrate, you celebrate. I wanted something more than that. Then after I was able to, at least get some level of comfort, your trust, then what did I do? I asked you, can we have dinner together? You remember? And we went to one Chinese restaurant. I took you to one Chinese restaurant. Yes, that is part of strategy, right? I began to build it up like that, build friendship. Then about 3 months, if you remember, about 3 months or so of building solid friendship, maintaining solid boundaries, ensuring you walk in the fear of God, right? And my babe was looking dapper, I was looking good. Also, then the next thing I did, was to now cast a vision, give a vision, give a direction. And I told you that day, I told you that day you were not happy, but I told you, I said, hey, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm not a bodyguard. Yeah, I'm not a bodyguard. I am here, and this is the reason for my being here. I want to marry you. Will you marry me? I told you, sweetheart. Remember, there was no rose, no
Sweetheart, please
petals
wait,
on the
wait.
floor.
This part, wait, sweetheart, wait, please,
You
sir,
need to
wait.
run down, sweetheart.
You did not
Yeah.
no packaging on this proposal. No, this proposal. That's why you have to. There has to be a rematch of that
Don't
proposal.
worry,
And
don't. But that is the first way to do it. All this one they are doing that is secular. Somebody will not be crying. I'm like, are you all right? You don't know what you are doing with the guy before. What's going on? What's going on here? Do you understand that kind of thing? You understand? So I made it clear. And so that if you remember,
sweetheart, please hold on. Please, sweetheart, please hold on, sir. Let me. Um, and all those things, we are all for it. We support it. It's wonderful. But the issue is when you have no idea, like this was going to come up, it should not be like a surprise that, oh, this would never happen. For some people, why it looks like there's always that, looks like, oh, there's a cry, there is this and that that happens. It's as if nothing was put in front of them
from
while
the
this
beginning.
relationship is being built from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
What the man is saying is that you want to make sure that this relationship is defined, this friendship is
it's
defined,
defined. Yeah,
direct. It's
yeah,
not endless. You're not just there to while away time. I
yeah.
mean, how can you be with somebody for 6 years, for 5 years, and this person has never really said, they've been telling you, oh, let's just see how it goes. Oh,
Mm-mm.
let's just
No,
see how it goes. No,
no,
it's
no,
beyond that. They're saying,
no.
don't just stop at the let's see how it goes level. Go beyond that and begin to say, hey, how can we make sure that
Yeah,
things are in place? That's why casting that
yeah,
vision early. I'm not here, like my husband said, I'm not here to be your bodyguard. I'm not here to just hang around you. And this was when we have already built a reasonable level of
a
friendship. We've
reasonable
done
level
investigation.
of friendship. Yeah,
Okay, this person is on my frequency. Because
yeah.
again, you're not coming to just ask anybody that is just around you
No,
and
no,
saying,
no,
oh, I want to marry you here and there.
no,
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 it has to be
no,
very clear. All right.
no.
So thank you, sir. Continue, please.
Yes. So after you've done that, really, you've built friendship. We did ours for like 3 months. Then I know the Bible says in Habakkuk 2, write the vision, make it plain, so that Fentoski, as she goes, will run, so that she will run with it. And I made it clear to you, and I told you, one Sunday afternoon, as I was taking you back home, and I said, hey, I pulled over, if you remember, off the road, and I said, hey, uh, Sister FT, I want to marry you. And my husband was like, sorry, what did you just
Me
say?
that
I said, you heard me
have been
right.
dreaming
I
of
want to.
real things and all those things. How can you just drop it like that and just say, I want to marry you like that?
I
Stop.
just said, I want to marry you. And I said, I want to marry you. Yes, as she sees it, she will run with it. And I told you that day, you remember. I said, don't say anything. Don't say anything. I said, don't say anything. Don't say anything yet. And I said, I gave you my vision book. And I said, this is where I am going. This is the direction God is leading me to go. So if you see yourself in this path, on this path with me, then come back and say yes. But if you don't, it's fine. You remember, and I gave you my vision book, and the vision book already had what, God had told me that, I was going to do. I don't know everything, but I just know a couple of them. And one of them is barricade, one of them is bridge, and one of them is what, we are doing already.
Yeah.
Right? So, which has been documented, and I gave it to you because we need to be on the same page. We need to be seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why many homes today are breaking off, because there is no common goal, no common vision. Love is not enough to bind anybody together. Love is not enough to bind a couple together. What binds people together is vision. What binds people together is purpose. What binds people together that you can't break off is what destiny. You understand? God did not give Adam Eve. He first gave him purpose. That's why I said there are two types of men today. We have the purposed men, then we have others. Others, not that they don't have purpose, but they have not discovered it. After I gave you that book, and of course, my wife now began to, it's not enough. Love is never enough. Love will fade off. It will fade off. But what will bind us together, in this marriage? And don't forget, sweetheart, the moment she said, yes, you will, we came up with our vision. The vision for our home, the mission for our home. We documented everything.
Yeah.
Our children today, they know our vision. Our children today, they know the vision for our home. Everybody is working towards that vision. There is no way devil can come in between such homes. Because of what? There's a bigger goal beyond both of us. Do you understand? So this is the pathway, to engagement.
Wow.
For a lady, the pathway to engagement is after the brother has approached you and said he wants to marry you, the next thing he wants to say yes. The next thing is, first and foremost, also, like I told you, sweetheart, don't say anything. Investigate the brother. And how do you do investigation? Be accountable to your leader, your church leader. Be accountable to your parents. Let them know. They are part of the people that will help you do investigation.
Yeah.
These are part of the people that will help you carry out investigation. Be accountable to all these kind of people, right?
Yeah.
Then be prayerful. Then watch out for signs. You are watching out for signs. You are watching out for what the person is saying. You are watching out for body languages, because not all words are going to be said. Some are going to be body languages. You are paying attention. If it's someone that is going to abuse you tomorrow, you are paying attention to all of these. Yes, because you probably love the person already, you may not hear no from God. You are more than 90% likely to hear yes. Meanwhile, you will think it's God. Meanwhile, it's not God, it's you. So you have to pay attention to all of these. If it's now, no man on earth is perfect. No woman on earth is perfect. If you know you can indulge some of the things they do, fine. But if you can't indulge it, then that's not the person. We have to continue another day, on this particular session.
Oh, am I the only one that is just feeling? I mean, of course, I can listen to you all day. Like, I don't get tired of listening to you. Like, this has been so enlightening. This has been so wonderful. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for choosing to do this. Thank you for the way you support. Thank you for every single thing that you do to ensure, that we are here today, and how you have pushed, how you have nurtured, how you have just been there. I don't know if anybody is learning anything tonight. Someone asked in the comment section a question that says, how do you build friendship? So you're going to answer that question, please, sweetheart, before we wrap up today. How do you go ahead to build that friendship? Because you talked about building friendship. But please, if you've learned anything at all so far today, you want to put that in the comment section already, and let me know that this has been an enlightening session for you, that this has been a blessing for you. Is there something you've picked that you are going to go ahead to make use of, to utilize, to practice, to use? There are people that have heard things, I believe, that would be a turning point, for them. And you're going to answer two questions. One is the place of, how do you build this friendship that you talked about? And then secondly, what is the place of preparation? Because that is something I see that you're also big on, as we round off today. Thank you so much again. I don't take it for granted. I'm not just saying it that, oh, because you're my husband and no, just come and I'm just dragging you to be here. No, thank you. I am very, very grateful. Mwah. Love you, baby. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with the second one. How do you, on preparation? Preparation, there is no higher preparation than prayer. There is no higher preparation than prayer. Prayer is a revealer of things.
Wow.
Like I said, I've been praying to God for you, sweetheart, since 2000, year 2000. Since year 2000, I've been praying to God, for my wife, all the days while I was in school, everything I was doing, I was praying to God and I was saying, God, wherever my wife is, keep her. She will not be able to do evil. She will not be able to do this. She will not be able to. I prayed. There was no prayer I had not prayed. So the best part of preparation is prayer, because prayer is a revealer of secrets. Prayer will reveal. God can show you via dreams. God can bring a word to you. It can be the person will just do something that will make you run. Say, hey, this is not the person. So the best form of preparation is prayer. That's the best form of preparation. The second thing, is reading. 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 If you go to school to become a mechanical engineer, then you should be able to go to school for you to be ready to be engaged. There are a lot of books. I remember those days, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I buy not less than 40,000 naira worth of books every month. Books, books, because apart from preparation, you have to expose your mind.
Wow.
You have to expose your mind. And how you can expose your mind, prayer will do part of it. But prayer is not enough. It's also reading. You should have read books on relationship, books on love languages, books on, there are several books, that I've read, about relationship, and how to behave in a relationship so that you don't lose that relationship and think it's not a God relationship. It may be a God relationship, but you may not just know how to behave in that relationship. So prayer and reading. Someone said the best, the way they will hide something from a black man is to write it and put it in a book, because the black man would never open that book to read. So change that mindset. Don't let that be you. Read. The world we are living in changes 1 hour every hour, 5 times in an hour. 5 times in an hour, the world we are living in changes. And the best way you can catch up with the world is by reading. Reading would also help association. I've always had people, ahead of me.
Yeah.
I've devoured a lot of people. I can mention names. I've listened to it. I've read books. I've read books of people. I've listened to people. I have good mentors. And one of them I would like to say publicly is Feladro today. I call him my father. I started following him since year 2004. This year 2004 is good, is big on that. Bishop Taiwo Adelakun, my pastor, Sobiodu Fatoyinbo, all these people, these are people I know. Bishop Abioye, Bishop Oyedepo, these are people, I've devoured. Their books I've devoured, not only them, also other authors. So please, you want to prepare by prayer. The second one, by studying, by reading. The third one, your association. If you are friends with those that have divorced home, your home will soon be the next. Your home will soon be the next. But if you are friends, you associate with those that are strengthening their home, then your home also will not crash. Do you understand? So these are the 3 things I would like to say about preparation. Then how do you build friendship? The Bible says he that wants to be a friend must first be friendly. So if you want to build friendship, you must first of all, be friendly. And how can you be friendly? Trust. You have to build trust. Loyalty, trust, respect, mutual respect. Respect is reciprocal. Mutual respect. You should respect people. Right. Be a person of integrity. Be a person of boundary. Yes, because a lot of us have also lost relationship because we don't have boundaries. You are touching the lady, or the lady is touching you. One of you is seducing each other. That may not mean it's not a God relationship. But what you are exposed to, may be what is, spurring you to do the negative. Do you understand? So these are ways, to build friendship. Trust, integrity, Then one more thing, one more thing I did for my wife, I tested my wife. Test people. Yeah, I said earlier I took her to, a Chinese cuisine, and all of that. It wasn't every day I took. There was a particular day I took her to a mama put. Yes, not because I could not afford Chinese or all of this. I could afford it, but I wanted to test her. Is Faint is someone that can abound with me, abase with me, and abound. I wanted to test her. I needed to be sure of what I'm entering into. So that day, we were going out to have lunch. And guess what? It was under a tent behind the stock exchange. You remember that day? Behind stock exchange in Abuja, I took her there. Not I could afford any other one by God's grace. Do you understand? But I needed to test her. I needed to be sure that it's not only because we are going to Chinese, Indian, and that's no. You need to test the spirit of the person you want to stay with. And that was why that day I took her under Mama Put. Guess what? The food was 250 naira that time. The food was 200.
Don't be directing me like this. Don't be directing me like this.
Let's tell them the truth. I had to test her. So I took her there. We have always gone to Chinese. We have always gone to Legend. We have always gone to this, to eat. We have gone. No. I had to test her. So I took her to a mama put under canopy. She said, What are we doing here? I said, we're going to eat here. She said, what? We're going to eat here? I said, yes. We will eat here. Come. Because of what I needed to be true to her. Guess what? Honestly, I do it there. So I don't have to be who I am not. Be yourself. Anybody you are trying to be someone else with is not the person, or you got it wrong from the foundation. Don't try to be real. Be real. That was why I had to take her there. And we ate there that day. I can't remember what we ate. 250 naira was the food. And I gladly paid.
This was many years ago. I don't be saying this.
This was many years ago, but it doesn't mean that somebody should not do it today. Test all spirit, the Bible says. So test the woman, test the man, but don't test them with sex. That's not what I'm saying. Don't test them with sex. That one, don't do that. But test them with other things. I think with all of this, I've come to say thank you for having me. And finally, I would like to ask every one of us watching us today to join the batch 11 of the Polished and the course. You want to sign up for that course. That course, I have heard a lot of testimonies. A lot of people have gotten married and they have sent testimonies, to Polish and Fit team about how the course have helped them a whole lot. You have to join, you have to listen to that course. If you have not yet, I want to say to you today, I would gladly give you, I'll pay 30%. I'll pay 30% of the fee, just to encourage those of us who are yet to. I'll pay 30% of the fee for the first 20 people. The first 20 people that will sign up. Know that I will take care of 30%. Why am I taking care of 30%? because I need you to also part with something so that you can be serious with it. Some other people have given it to free of charge. They were not serious with it. So I don't give people free again. You want to be part of it? Oh, you pay some, I will pay some for you as well. So please, I'm giving out the scholarship, to the first 20 people who are yet to register for this
Wait,
course.
let's celebrate this one first, sir. Wait, sir.
Okay.
Sir, wait, we have to first dance. Please, who is dancing in the comment section like I am? Oh, they're so generous. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So I hope you heard that. So he's giving 30% scholarship, right? So you're only going to pay 70%. He's paying 30% for you. For the first 20 people. Oh, this is so kind. Thank you so much, sir, for this. And I'm just going to share a bit about what the course is about right now as we just round off. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know how many people started from the beginning up till this time. This has been a wonderful time of conversation. I want to say thank you, sweetheart, for choosing to be here tonight, choosing to speak with us here at Polished and Fit, to the Polished family. Thank you so much for shining this light, not holding anything back. We are definitely going to have a repeat. We're going to have a part 2 of this, a part 3, and several other parts for this. This has been so engaging. This has been so enlightening. Even though, Kai, you brought me out so much today, but it's a good one, and I'm excited that we could share. If that is going to make a difference in someone's life, and then again, you're still even doing giveaway, a gift. I mean, who does that? Thank you from day one. There's not been a that you have not supported us at Polished and Fit every single time. Even this program, Rise, that we are doing this season, you pushed us. You have pushed us every single time. Because it was left to me, I will stay and I will be creating and putting my ideas together. I will take forever sometimes to go into execution, but you are always there to help me do that. So for anyone that is signing up for our signature course for batch 11, up till the 5th of November, all right, that is where we're going to have the orientation for everyone in this particular batch. You want to take advantage of this offer he's giving you today. Is 30% off of what you're supposed to pay. So the full fee itself, if you're taking the full cost, it's 120,000. So if you're doing at 30%, that is, you get to pay 84,000 only. I mean, that is so generous. I mean, you can pay from any part of the world. It's an online course, so you have access to it immediately. If you're signing up, please, the link is in the bio at Fentolsky, or just send a DM immediately and you're going to get all the response you need. So for everyone, there is the single courses. That is just, if you just want to take one stage only, we have 4 stages for the entire course, and it's the entire course that is, you're getting at 84,000 at this 30% discount right now. And then if you're taking just 2 courses, you're also still getting it at that. All right. So this is this offer that is available. Please share with friends and family and let them take advantage of this. You can pay for someone, you can sponsor people as well to be part of it, because this will be an investment into their preparatory process. Again, I cannot thank you enough, sweetheart, for this.
I love you, baby.
Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of the first ever Rise, time of conversation with us. I love you. I would always love you. You're the best.
I love you so much, baby. Love you so much, baby.
You're a very powerful and great man. I'm glad I'm doing live with you. It's 11 years, almost 11 years, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And of course, not without challenges, but God has been kind, God has been faithful. And I just wanted to say thank you so very much for pouring out tonight. Please, can we say thank you to our guests in the comment section?
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful. Thank you for the privilege.
Thank you so much, baby. I love you. All right. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of the first Rise ever. The next one is going to be the last Wednesday of the month of November. I'm sure with time, it will almost become every other week. But for now, this is where we are starting from. And I hope this has been useful to you. I would definitely like to see what your feedbacks are like. Of course, you can always put that in, send a DM, put it in the comment section. I'll do well to save the video and keep it here. And after like 2 days, it's going to be moving to our YouTube page. So you want to subscribe to that YouTube channel, Ademola Adetuberu, so that you can get the replay right there, and several other things would always come. All right, feel free to tour the page. Feel free to check the link. There are books there. There are resources, different things to guide you on your own journey. This has been a moment. You again have been hosted to the first ever Rise. All we are saying to you is there is a possibility to rise to a new life, and we want you to rise to that new life today. And I pray that God that has brought you this far will perfect all that concerns you. Thank you so much again for being a part of Rise. So this is where we're going to be saying our goodbyes. Thank you for joining, and do well to be a part of the course. So sign up and we will definitely see you in class. Thank you. So till we come your way another time, it's bye for now from Polished and Fit. And thank you for being a part of Rise today. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did also. All right. Bye, everyone, and thank you.